La 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 la.
Hey all you groovy people, this is Calvin the Groovy Guppy, and here we are answering some questions today. Well, a question. I got a question in the email there a couple of days ago asking me what's the best over-the-top filter to buy for my shrimp tank, and so here I am. So Janice, here's your answer. None! Don't buy one. You will see one. I have 40 tanks, and there's one over-the-top filter, and it's running right there. And that's the only one I have. There's no, it's set up so the shrimp can't get into it. I also have a lot of guppy fry and other fry, so I don't use over-the-top filters. First of all, they're designed to cost you lots of money. They come with little filter cartridges you're supposed to replace, and I never do. I build my own replacements that last for years. But they're also very mechanical and tend to wear out. And if you're in my situation, I have multiple tanks, so I'd be running a ton of electricity to run over the top filters, and buying parts, impellers almost as much as the filter sometimes. So what I actually use are two almost homemade filters, and you can buy them. One of them I use looks kind of like this. Okay. This is a sponge filter that I can produce for just a little bit of money. I can show you the basics. I don't think I need to show you exactly how to do everything on this. But basically, I took a PCB cap, put silicone on there, and glued it to a 16-cent tile. I think that's 30 cents. A little piece of the PVC, this is 1/2 inch. If you've got a bigger tank, you can use a next bigger size. And I drilled a few holes across there. See that? I've got little holes right there. Okay. Then I took my sponge and I just took a razor blade and cut it to the size of the pad. It doesn't have to be that, it's the size I chose. I took a pair of scissors and cut a hole in the middle, and I just slide that right there over top of that. And I put a little elbow on there, and for my Corys, by the way, for you Corydora lovers, I've started putting, for my top, I started putting a longer cap in, and even longer than this. My Corys seem to like to lay eggs on them. Well, any of you who have got Corydoras know how hard it is to get the Cory eggs out of the tank and put them into the whatever you're raising them in to get the eggs away from the mommy and daddy. This is so easy. You take this out and drop it in, and you got 150 eggs on there. Actually, the ones I've been using are so long that I just happen to have a short piece, about that long. I throw on the top of there. And anyway, now what I do is I'm not really done with this one. I'm about to drill a hole in this one. I take this part right here at the top here, and I pop a hole in it. Right here. I've already put a hole in my finger here today, so I'm trying not to do that again. It's always advisable not to put holes in your hand when you do this. Okay. I don't have quite the right size drill, but there we go. This is a little bit better if you use the right size drill, but what I'm putting in here is a little coupling made for air hoses, and I slide it in there just like that. Okay, so now I'll take the air hose, which I have a piece of right here, and I will try to put that hole right where we get at it. Slide that up on there. And this one went a little bit of a bad angle, but I'll get it there. I slide it up on there. And 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 in my mess right here, I have a neat little pliers that sometimes helps. Grab that tubing. Try to get a good fit on there. See, now that's up inside there. There you go. See? And that stays on there nice and snug. It doesn't have to be airtight there. It's to get the air down to the air stone that I'm going to put in the bottom of it. And the reason I do this is sometimes you want to not unwire everything. to make this work, you want to be able to take it apart, clean the sponges, whatever, without unhooking the hose from the top, or you know, a long, big old long hose. A lot of guys just run a hose right straight through the, drill a hole and run the hose all the way to the source. And well, I put a connector in there that makes my life easier, just like you bought one. And I take this right here. Okay. Drop that. I guess you can't see that. Take that little air stone. Drop it down in there. And discover the hose is too long. Okay. Take that hose or that air stone right there. Slide it right down in there. Actually, that's the wrong air stone. Ha! By the way, that's the wrong air stone. I have two sizes of air stone, folks. When you're buying these air stones, if you're using half-inch pipe, you need to get the skinny ones. This is for the bigger ones. That's for my other filter. So there we go. Now it slides down there and it'll have room to get the air out. Gotta have a little play in there. See that? Yep, there we go. Much better. There. Put that on there. Actually, this is going in a guppy tank, so I'm going to use a short one. Okay. Now what happens, how this works, in case you're not familiar with this, how this works is I put air on here, right? It's an air, that's all I need is an air pump to run both these filters that I'm running. I'll show you the other one I'm making in here in a minute. I put two filters in each of my tanks. This puts air down in here. This air stone pumps the air down here. That air comes up and bubbles out over here. Well, what happens is those bubbles are pushing the water up with them. The water comes up and comes out here, and you'll get a regular flow of water out here, which also creates current in your tank, and it sucks in right here. It runs through these filters right here, these sponges. Now, the beauty of this is these sponges are now become bio for your tank, and the bacteria will grow on these sponges. Never put them under chlorinated water. Leave them in the water. If you're not, you can always take one out and start a tank with one of these. There's enough bacteria in here. You can put one of these in a tank. Put an extra one in a tank somewhere. Take it out and put it in a new tank, and you have the start of a new tank. Okay. Now that's one of my filters I use. It's called a sponge filter. Now they also make these. You can buy them. This one here is probably good for up to 30, 40 gallon tank. I'm putting it in a 10. Overkill. Keeps your water clean. I go with overkill. I buy this sponge material here. Okay. And I buy it kind of like this. This is a sheet folded in half. Comes in like this. It's like 15 bucks for that. Well, as you can see, I can make quite a few of them. A sponge filter that big is $7, $8, $9, $10. Okay, I can make quite a few. That's a double layer there. I make quite a few out of there, so I can. For the cost of that, I can make probably 6 or 7 this size and lots more smaller ones. So that's one of the filters I use. There's nowhere the fish can get in here to get hurt. The fry can go in here. The shrimp actually eat off of it. Better for shrimp than an overhead tank filter. The other filter I use looks like this. And those of you that know me know I like making things out of water bottles. Well, this is actually a Gatorade bottle. It's full of lava rock. Now, you can go online and see all kinds of these filters online made, and it's pretty easy to make it. I'm going to go through it real quick. We don't need to get it drilled out. I've already popped a hole in there making this one. Okay, so I take my Gatorade bottle, rinse it out good. Okay, I use Gatorade because it's a sturdy bottle. You can use a water bottle. I like this sturdy bottle. Okay. And now this is a thing that stays in your tank forever. You hardly ever have to take it out and do anything with it. You don't rinse it under. You can rinse it under aquarium water. Don't put it in chlorinated water because you kill the bacteria. Because this also holds bacteria. But you'll see the ones. There's two styles. One that has these lava rock and one that has little plastic things that float around in there. Well, the ones that with the plastic things that float around are not near as effective as like lava rock or ceramic media that you can buy. I use the lava rock, and I'll make a link down there. I didn't buy it for this one, but I found a lava rock that's 1/4 inch. It goes in the bottles real easy. This is here. Took me quite a while to beat that stuff. What I do here is I simply draw 7 or 8 holes right here, right around the top, small holes, 1/8 inch, a little bit bigger maybe, and I run another round of them right here. Okay, that's so the water can come up through. The air stone is going to come up. Some people put the air stone in right here on the side, depending how you're doing it. And I put a bigger hole here on the side to mount my whatever size suction cups you get here. See them suction cups? That helps keep them on the side of the tank. Okay. Mount a suction cup on the side up here, and I run my hose in the bottom, but I set it right down in the sand, and it comes up, and you can hardly see the stuff. And I actually, if you look at this one, I've already got together. I drill a hole and put the big air stone that we had the wrong one there. Mount it right there. You do not need an air stone. I like the air stone because they're quieter. The bubbles are smaller, they don't pop. You got 40 tanks, getting it quieter, and it disperses the air pretty nicely in the tank, into the thing. You hang this like this, upside down. You run an air hose right here. This here is 6 times more effective than the ones with the plastic medium in them. Okay. A lot more holes in here. These are porous. They're lava rocks, so they're like big bubbles of air in them. This is 6 to 7, maybe even more, because the plastic ones, if you were going to do this, you couldn't fill this. You could only do about 2/3 of it or so, and it would have to have room to bounce around in there, so you're putting less in there. Another thing about this, it stays in the tank better. I've got the plastic ones, and they tend to, because they're so light, in my tanks, end up floating away or whatever. This is heavy. It's got some weight to it, so it sits in the bottom of the tank and stays where I want it. It's a vanity thing. I hate setting it back up. But you just stick this in your tank, run your hose there, and there you go, and just run this, and the air will go through and circulate this. The fish really don't get in it. I have, on a rare occasion, had a baby something in there. It's extremely rare. Sometimes if you got snails, they'll get in there. They'll get too big to get out of there too. They can just keep their butt in there. Anyway, that's what I use for filters. I do not use over-the-top filters, except for that tank, and that's a different system there. It's got something else going on. It's just a long tank. I needed some flow. It's not really a filter. It's a pump, and now I've got a pump. I may take it out. But anyway, Janice, I hope this helps. Sponge filter, lava rock filter. Yep. Put them in your tanks. That's all you ever need. I hope this helps. I'm keeping your fish in the groove. This is Calvin the Groovy Guppy.